Hi guys, hope you are all well and safe. I've been asked by one or two people if I would look at a program on the iPad called ArtSet. I have looked at it before, it was a long while ago, so I thought I'd take another look at it. There's a lot of stuff locked down in it. It looks like a really powerful program. There's a lot of stuff locked down unless you're prepared to buy the full version. Good news is it's not a subscription, it's just a one-time purchase. But there are a few features in this that are well worth getting the app for, just for the free version. So let's have a look at what they are. So this is a program called ArtSet, and when you first look at it, there's not a lot to look at. You've got pretty much an empty screen. In actual fact, maybe when you open it up, it would look like that. And if you create a new image or a new picture, you don't seem to get any option to resize it at all. So you kind of got this default size. So I want to paint in portrait, so I just grip it with my fingers and turn it round. So what has it got in it? Well, I discovered that it's really highly customizable. There's lots of tools in here that are locked down. You haven't got a lot to work with, unless you buy the full app, which is £10, I think, UK pounds. But I think it's worth showing because there's a couple of features that are really cool, and even if you didn't want to buy it, the free app, you could use this. So let's have a look at the color mixer. First of all, is quite unique that you can choose a color. So I've got an orange, okay, and then I tap it up here, and once I've got that selected, I can choose another color. So I could choose yellow, but all it does, look, it adds the yellow to that orange, and I could add a bit of magenta. And I've never seen an app with a color picker like that, which I really like. Quite unique. So I thought that was really good. You've got these colors which are arranged. I thought I saw somewhere they were arranged in cool colors. Well, we've got warm greys and cool greys, and that's it. So, but you can mix any colors you want here. You've also got, I think I might be using, yeah, that's the palettes. The colors, you've got tubes of paint. So if you're familiar with using paint, you could select, say, bright sienna. I've never heard of that. I've heard of burnt sienna. I wonder if we've got a burnt sienna. I wonder if they're not in alphabetical order. So it is a red. Have they got burnt sienna? No. So they don't seem to have names that... Oh, cobalt blue. That's a familiar colour. So I can select that. And the reason I'm showing you this app is because of this. Just look at that. Thick paint. And the only other app I know that does this on an iPad is Artrage, and you do have to buy that. So if you want to get into thick paint, you can use this as a free app. I like the palettes, I think. If I touch that, it clears it, and then I can just choose a colour. And look how that blends together. So that's pretty cool. If I click on the tube of paint, you can see we've got pencils, watercolour brushes, pens, and then all of these other things. But look, they're all locked. And if I click on one of them, it says you can unlock everything for a one-time purchase of $9.99. So that's okay. That's cool. I think that's fair. But and then I thought they all like you've got to scroll down and down. So say you're working with watercolours, you'd have to scroll all the way down here every time you wanted a brush. And then I discovered that I could grab a brush and just drag it onto the side. So I could make a custom palette. Obviously it's locked because I've not paid for it, but you could put your favourite brushes down the side. So this is really highly customizable. And then I thought, how do I undo anything? If I want to clear something, okay, I've got the back button I can undo, but how do I clear? And I selected this and I found this clear icon and I thought, well, that's a pain. What about layers and other options? And we've got an eyedropper, and I thought, I don't want to have to click on this every time I select an eyedropper. And then I discovered that I could do the same thing with this. I can select an icon and drag it onto the toolbar. Oh, I've already got one there. So I've now got two. I can drag them off as well. So I could put the eyedropper on there as well if I wanted. And I've got clear. Erase I could put on there. Dry, I could add that. So you can see most of the options are locked, so you'd have to buy it. But straight away I've started to customize this. But is it any good for painting? That's what we need to know. So the next step is to have a go. And this is the painting I'm going to have a go at. So, I want oil paint. I've got that selected. I thought I'd just do an oil painting. Oh, and the other thing is you can't resize. You go to adjust and oh no, you can. I apologize. Can I drag that? Oh, it's locked. Yes, I thought it was. All of these tools are locked, so I can't resize it in the free version. So I've got to try and do this painting with one oil painting brush. I haven't got a lot to work with, but it looks as though it's a cool app. I have used this before actually, and I made a video of it a long time ago. Oh, and we've also got, I suppose, we have paper, so I can choose, say, a nice canvas to work on. So I'm going to work with that. Right, let's get into it then. So the colours, I want a sort of a browny colour. You know, I might go with the wheel, just so I can get into it pretty quick. There we go. And straight away, I mean, if you press it, what happens if you use the side of the brush? Doesn't seem to put it on any thicker or anything. I love the way they blend together, it's nice. Let's go for a slightly warmer. It seems to be working very well. It's very responsive. It feels good. It feels like a quality app. And don't forget, I'm using the free version, so lots of tools are not available to me. There we go. That's those flowers in. Let's try some green. I'll go in with a dark green. The only thing I'm finding so far is when I come to choose the palette, you have to click a couple of times. When you've selected your colour, you have to click a couple of times to start painting again. So we've got this sort of thing about there. It is nice that you know, I've only got one size brush, but I wonder if you can sort of, it won't let me select colour, will it, because the colour picker's blocked out. So I'm going to have to keep selecting colours off the colour wheel. Yeah, light pressure, you do get some nice light strokes, so that's cool. I'm using this, I'm thinking I might buy it. If I was to buy it, would you be interested in watching a series on painting in this app? What do you think? Is it worth getting? You may have seen another video I did of Pastel recently, and I wasn't so enamored with that one as this. This I'm feeling straight away. It just feels very professional. And I'm liking it. I like the way the colours mix. I like how fast it is. There doesn't appear to be any lag going off. I can get it on quite fast if I want. Yeah, it's feeling good. Let's think about this car. Or it's not a car, is it? Now that's a different yellow, isn't it? That's what needs to be a bit more orange than that. But I do like that. I like it. A nice lemon yellow. What I like about this, which is different to Artrage, is that you can paint over it and the colours don't get muddy. So it's not as realistic as Artrage, I don't think, but it feels it's easier to work with than Artrage, because Artrage is more realistic, because real paint isn't easy once you've got a layer on to keep it clean. I don't know if there's any sort of blending brushes or anything like that. So we've got this wheel. That's a bit black for me. I like it. I do like a bit of colour in my darks. So I'm gonna it's a weird way of painting this. This is, I have to say. It will come together, trust me, I promise. I could use the pastel if I want some real thins. Now that the yellow, I think, needs to come more over it. I'm looking at this window. So that circle sort of goes there. So that means that wedge is more like that. Let's pick a really light colour to start. Just put in where I think the wedge should go. See what I mean about the light colours? You can just sort of pop them over what you've already painted and it just goes over. I don't think we've got layers as an option in the free version. Let's have a quick look. No, you have to buy that. Okay. I don't remember this app being as nice as this last time I tried it. I really don't. I've got this sort of I'm just going to swap to the oil pastel. I guess I could use a crayon as well. Just see if I can get some fine lines in. I can, look at that. In actual fact, what it's doing is pushing the paint away, but it's not changing the colour, which is alright, I suppose. What happens if I choose, say, the wax crayon? What does that do? Again, it's just pushing the colour away. So I can't use it to paint with. What about, say, the pencil? Nope. Oh, never mind. I can make marks in it though, which is quite nice. Let's go back to the paint then. Right. Green. Right, let's just crush some colour in quick. Just get some darks in. I like the way that blue's just mixing in with that. There we go. Then I can change it to a green. I quite like sort of limey greens. Although they don't look quite the same. Maybe you want something like that. Let's try that. That's probably better. Doing little strokes, I can get some leaf patterns. I wonder if by zooming in, I can make the brush put smaller marks on, and that seems to be working. But I am putting on very, very light pressure. Go. So that sort of comes down there like that. Try to get some shadow underneath that. I wish I could pick a colour off the palette, off the canvas. That's a bit of a drag. This is doable. I think it is doable. Now, does this need to come? I think this needs to be a bit more over there. And now I'm moving everything over a bit. That's a bit blue, isn't it? Let's go for more yellow. There we go. This is definitely going to be an impressionist piece, with it being having to use just one brush and it being so big. Dare I try the wax crayon? Oh, I've tried the wax crayon, haven't I? Yeah, it's not having it. I think I've tried everything else. So what about the pen? Ah! The pen seems to work. Got to be careful though. Looks a bit pen-like. I may have to sort of... Looks a bit pen-like. I'm doing this to give me an idea, and then I can sort of paint it out again, I guess. Back to me oil paint. A little bit dark. I see what I'm doing wrong. I got the perspective wrong on this bottom line. I've got it sort of going up and going up from left to right, down from left to right. Sorry, it needs to sort of have a gradual slope up. That's better. Same with that as well. It's amazing if you one little thing like that. Why didn't I say it sooner? Yeah, now I can see down here as well, the same sort of thing going off. And then we've got a grey for the bottom bumper, we call it in the UK. I'm taking my watch off because it's making a scratching sound. There we go. Put a few shadows on it. That always makes a massive difference as well. I wonder if this app's got blend modes, you know, that would be quite cool. It is a bit of a struggle though, I have to say. It's a bit of a struggle working with a brush that's just one size. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? I think I can bring that down like that. If I want a thin line, I could sort of paint a thick line like that and then go up to it either side or one side like that. So that's one way around it, I suppose. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, and I like to sort of lose edges as well, of course. This is going to get lost in the foliage, green. Got some orange under there. Like that. So it's beginning now to take a bit of shape, this little bust. This is was just a little plant pot, really, that was sat in my daughter's garden. I actually bought it quite a while ago, and she planted it up. I think it looks quite cool. There we go. I'm enjoying working with this. I have to say, it's very responsive. I've discovered that when you've selected a colour, you have to just sort of tap somewhere to close. To close the colour picker. I'm soon going to have the camper finished, and I can start on the leaves properly. I think I got into them a bit premature earlier, and I needed to do the bus really. Right, that's and I don't want to be doing every leaf like I started on this side. That's not really my style, is it? Come on. That's better. That's more me. Just flicking some of these grasses in. I like it. This is a nice art, I have to say. It really is quite good. Is that a bit too light? Don't think so. Don't think so. Oh, it is. Yes, it is.
think this yellow just sort of picks up the colour of the camper van. There we go. And I do want some more purple flowers. So let's start looking at those. I think the only way of trying an application out and demoing it to people is definitely to actually do a painting, because you can go through all of the features and things, but really it's about what's the end result look like. Does it hold up? And this, I think, does. Even a subject as sort of random as this, really, I think it's looking okay. And don't forget, I'm struggling with the size of the brush as well. So if you can do this with one brush, what could you do? What could you do if you had full reign of the thing, you know? Just need that tiny little blob of yellow. Is it going to do it? Yeah. I like it. Little blob in there. That's too big. Still too big. That's it. Got something yellow going off here. Something yellow on the top there. These are just got more light on them, I think, because they're a little bit higher up. There we go. Maybe just a little bit darker on this flower here. And then pick out a few leaves. It might be a little bit light. It works there, but I think higher up it might be a bit too much. Let's just undo all that. Yeah, that's better. Which is pretty much what that colour was. like that shape. Just lose that a bit. It wants to be a bit more. Maybe like that.
There we go.
I think that's it. So that is ArtSet. I don't know if I can sign this. I don't think I'll be able to get a brush small enough. I could sign it with the pen, I suppose. Let's go for the pen. Pen. Here we are. Let me know. Well, you can just see it. You probably won't see it on the video, but I can see it. That's it. There we are. ArtSet. If you haven't got Artrage, get this. It's free, and you get this thick paint. Okay, you've got restrictions. It's not a lot of money. It's probably, I don't know, it's $9.95. I think I would stump up for it. I might get it. What do you think? Is it worth it? Do you think it's worth it? Yeah, nice art. And I might try the watercolour. It looked a bit, it didn't look brilliant, I have to say, but I might give it a go. Anyway, what do you think? Would you like to see that? That's something else that might be worth looking at. Anyway, there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always. It's much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them with you. Don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.